Years ago, I had this crazy idea to try my hand at writing scripts and editing videos, and my first real attempt was with a video called Does Anyone Remember Cruis'n USA? Admittedly, it's a rough video, and tough to go back and watch. While on one hand, I am proud of it as it started all this, but on the other, I do still think it's absolute garbage. I raced through my dialogue, half of which I mumbled, and the other half I just talked like a robot, not to mention I didn't EQ any of it. On top of that, I could have covered the game better. I didn't even mention its reception, I forgot to mention a sequel when I was talking about the series, and at the time I thought the video was too short, so I just slapped in some footage all half-assed. In the end, I just really wanted to talk about video games, something that remains the same today, but I could have done a better job in the beginning, so you know what? I want a do-over. Hope you enjoy. The Cruis'n series all started with Cruis'n USA. Originally released as an arcade game in 1994, it was later ported to N64 in 1996. And while the arcade version was a commercial and critical success, the N64 version, not so much. It scored an average rating of 5 out of 10, with one critic saying, "This half-hearted, roughshod conversion is exactly what the N64 doesn't need." Safe to say, they didn't really like it. But Cruis'n USA was followed by Cruis'n World and Cruis'n Exotica. There was also one on Game Boy Advance called Cruis'n Velocity, another on Wii just called Cruis'n, and Cruis'n Blast that got ported to the Switch in 2021. However, no one really remembers those, but I'm pretty sure they were fun for the 7 people who actually played them. In any case, today we're gonna go back to where it all started, and I'll pose the question. Does anyone remember Cruis'n USA? When we were kids, this cartridge seemed to be on every shelf and in every stack or pile of games at our friends' houses. Cruis'n USA was just as common to see as GoldenEye was. And after firing up the old N64 and popping the game in to play for a bit, I realized that this isn't a racing game at all. No. This is a brutal and frustrating test of endurance and reflexes. Now, most of my gripes with this game are due to it being an arcade game at its inception, therefore its sole purpose is to eat your quarters and be completely unfair. However, I'm gonna bitch regardless simply because I can. Like, why does almost every level have cheap mega sharp J-turns at the end? Or don't even get me started on that fucking train at the end of Death Valley, as if the rest of the level wasn't bullshit enough. My biggest piss off though is the rubber banding. It seems that your opponents are always just behind you, and one mistake can lose you the race. Most of the time I had to race dirty just to take the lead, which isn't the worst thing ever, but man, what are these cars, Terminators? First I'm gonna touch on the courses. There are 14 in total, and out of those, 4 of which are only playable from within the Cruise the World mode, and aesthetically speaking, there's some real nice variety with them too. From the grassy countrysides of Iowa with its barns and cows, to the posh streets of Beverly Hills with its opulent mansions and palm trees. But aesthetics aside, they all, for the most part, tend to feel samey. If you're not looking outside the 2 or 4 lanes in which you inhabit, you won't really notice a difference. However, there are 3 tracks which are a masterclass in sadistic track design. Just the thought of them makes my balls itch, and the only reason I was able to get through them as easily as I did was because the AI kept crashing into one another behind me, giving me a considerable lead, at least for a few moments. The maps in question are Redwood, Death Valley, and Chicago. Now keep in mind, the AI is constantly right on your ass, you're going blazing fast, and your turning is extremely sharp, making small adjustments very difficult. All while you're driving on a windy, narrow 2-lane road, often with other AI and obstacles coming your way, plus all the shit on the sides of the road that want oh so desperately to fuck you up. And as a moldy cherry on top, each of these maps have their own flavor of bullshit. Like Death Valley with that damn train at the end. It's like the game saying, "Oh, you won? Well, dodge this, you dirty orphan." Or how about Redwood? I'm not referring to any particular part, just the whole fucking thing can go straight in the like, look at this. Need I even say more? Oh, and I didn't forget about Chicago. It starts out okay, but then you get to this asshole of a tunnel. Hit the side, spin out. Hit the supports, spin out. Hit the vehicles, spin out. Hit the other racers, spin out. Don't hit anything, probably still spin out. Sprinkle in some traffic, and it's the perfect recipe for some white knuckle gaming. But it doesn't end there. You then gotta drive under this bullshit tram track or whatever, which is worse than the tunnel if you can believe it. You know what? I don't think this is enough. I really think they should have added, I don't know, some pits, some some spikes, some ramps, or some wrecking balls. There, perfect. After that, the race ends, thank the tree spirits, and I haven't mentioned it yet, but we gotta talk about the trophy girl. In the N64 version, she's wearing a skirt with a modest gray t-shirt adorned with the Cruis'n USA logo, where in other versions, she's in a bikini. Man, why do they keep messing with the trophy girl? I noticed this in my Cruis'n World video and it still pisses me off, and I can't even turn the censorship off like I could in that game. Everyone knows the true rewards are the titties we see along the way. Furthermore, why censor her but not the girls in the background? And what about the starting girl? She's in a bikini? What, did that one set of floaties raise the game's ratings too much? Fucking bullshit. What's even crazier though is that the trophy girl in this game is actually an adult film actress. I'm not lying, Google it. Now, in terms of vehicles, you'll be able to tear shit up in one of 4 main cars. You've got the 63 muscle car, the La Bamba, the Devastator 6, and the Italia P69. There are also 3 hidden cars, the Jeep, bus, and police cruiser, but they're essentially just reskins, so stick to one of the main 4. Or play with one of the other 3, I'm not your real dad, I can't tell you what to do. You can also upgrade your cars by beating the game with them. They'll change color and receive a decent boost to their stats. Hold on, can we just talk about why there's a whole ass farm complete with cows and hay bales and barns on the roof of the White House? Is this what America's like? Anyway, these vehicle upgrades are almost a necessity if you want any chance of beating the harder difficulties. For the sake of gathering footage, I played through the game once on the easiest difficulty, then a second time on medium, and it was quite the frustrating experience. I tried medium with a non-upgraded car, and I was struggling to even keep up with whoever was in 4th. But I feel like I'd be committing a major disservice if I didn't touch on the music in this game. The theme song alone fills my head with repressed memories of spilt, stale beer, cigarette-stained wallpaper, and my parents fighting while Summer of '69 plays way too loud on a cassette deck. Yeah, school nights were great, but yeah, a lot like Summer of '69, the theme song from this game is an all-time classic white trash anthem. The rest of the soundtrack is both good and terrible at the same time. It's a lot like music from a bad infomercial. We here at Flamingo, Sausage and Pawn are having an absolute blowout sale. Call now to order your very own limited edition Cruis'n USA soundtrack compilation. For the low or reasonable price of $29.99, this disc could be yours. That's right, just $29.99, plus shipping and handling. But don't get hung up on pesky things like price, because this timeless compilation is sure to include something for every occasion. It doesn't matter if it's Christmas, a beach day, or a funeral, we got you covered. But enough yapping. Let's take a listen to some of the gold that's included in this compilation. What an exquisite compilation of bodacious tunes! Say, I like trivia, do you? I knew you would, random viewer, so here's a fun fact. One of the songs in this collection was actually used by the government in the 80s as an attempt to create American sleeper agents. So if anyone in your family who you've recently gifted one of these CDs randomly starts prepping for nuclear devastation, you can thank us. Oh, it gets even better. I just received word from the higher-ups that whoever calls within the next 15 minutes will receive not 1, but 2 Cruis'n USA CDs for the price of 1. That's right, 2 CDs for only 5 easy payments of $5.99 or whatever price we set at the start. You can't beat it, and can you really afford to miss it? Call now. So, to summarize, Cruis'n USA is a game about speed, babes, rock and roll, and America, and honestly, I'm all for it. However, as I said at the outset, this game can be downright unfair at times, and honestly, I couldn't imagine even attempting to beat it on the hardest difficulty. That being said, Cruis'n USA is still an important and novel N64 racing game that should hold a place in everyone's collection, and I don't think I'll ever forget this one. What about all of you? What do you think of Cruis'n USA? Did you like it? Did you hate it? And are you one of the 7 people who actually played Cruis'n on Wii? As for me, I'm out. I gotta go see how many fluid ounces of Buckley's it'll take to fully embalm a 15-pound turkey. Thanks for watching and have a wonderful day.